Hi, this is Joanne Kovacay. I am your midlife coach and founder of Midlife Rewritten. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Nidi Chawla. I'm sorry, I stumbled over your name. But Nidi and I met at the Women's Economic Forum. That's where I've met many of the women that I've interviewed from India. So I'm really happy to have you here today. And just give me a little introduction into yourself. Uh-oh, wait. Okay, I'm not hearing you. Okay, sometimes when you put the headphones in, it doesn't work so well. Why don't you unplug your headphone? Yeah.
Is it better for you now?
Yes, definitely. So let's
start again.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll start counting again. Hi, this is Joanne Kovacay. I am your midlife coach and founder of Midlife Rewritten. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Nidi Chawla. I met her in India at the Women's Economic Forum, which is where I've met several of the women that I've interviewed recently. And it's really been exciting to get to know such a wonderful group of women that came from the forum. So Nidi, would you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Joanne. It's a pleasure talking to you again. It was fun interacting with you in Delhi, but it's nice to be connecting again.
Yes.
So yeah, actually, I am co-founder of a social enterprise, Silver Talkies. We work with older adults here in Bangalore. So I'm based out of Bangalore. So I and my partner Reshmi, we started our journey with Silver Talkies almost like 5 years ago, where we realized our parents, how they were retired and they were really not living their lives to the fullest, how we hoped that they would once they had retired, and how they were still quite occupied with family responsibilities. And that's how the genesis of Silver Talkies happened. We wanted to create a forum for seniors, where seniors could get together, meet like-minded people, and it is all about promoting the concept of active aging and making them happy, so that issues like loneliness and depression really don't touch them. Yeah. So that's what really Silver Talkies does, and it has been a great journey. Prior to Silver Talkies, I was in a corporate setup. I worked with McKinsey and Company for 7 years, and I took a break in between when my daughter happened, and I was being a full-time parent for her. So gradually, I think when I realized that there is something more to motherhood than being a mother. I was craving for work. So the Silver Talkies idea came about, and I and Reshmi came together to carry it forward. So that's what I do. I work with senior citizens.
Wow, that's
the age group of 55 primarily.
I see. That is really terrific, because you're so right that as we grow older and our friends leave us, then we end up with our life isn't as active as it used to be, and it's easy to kind of fall into isolation and depression when you don't see a lot of people. So the opportunity to get out and to be active and to expand your community is really important.
Correct.
So you talked a little bit about when you became a mom and going from working full-time and having that kind of hustle and bustle of a job and people and things like that to being a mom that stayed home and your daughter is your primary focus. What was that like for you to make that transition?
I think I did enjoy that break a lot, because our daughter happened like a gap of after 5 years of our marriage. I think we were looking forward to it as a couple, and I think I really enjoyed those growing up years with her. So initial few years I never felt the pinch. I wasn't missing anything because I was really enjoying my motherhood. I think as she was getting a little older and independent, did I realize, now I think I've had enough of full time on this. I need to kind of something which would interest me, and and that's how I decided to get back to work. So it started with more like a hobby, because Silver Talkies was I think for both Rashmi and I, it was more like both of us were stay-at-home moms trying to get back to work, and I think it was more of an experimentation to start with. So it started like a part-time, a hobby kind of a thing. But then as we started getting traction and interest from seniors and their families, the idea slowly developed and gradually evolved into a full-time business. So I still, kind of, I'm pretty much still a full-time mom because I do plan my hours out of the house according to my daughter's schedule. I'm back home by the time she comes back and everything.
Right.
So that is still in play. But yeah, I have more freedom because my husband then kind of takes in the role of stepping in for me when I have to head out for meetings and all. So we both kind of, take turns in managing our work and home. It has been a journey, but yeah, and it has been a very satisfying and gratifying journey. Yes.
What kinds of things did you learn when it came to being an entrepreneur? So it's one thing to be, in the corporate world. It's a totally different thing to run your own business and have to be all of those things at one time.
Oh, it can. I think the high and the low. It has both its highs and lows. The high being the whole gratification that you get out of the success and being credited for it. Being acknowledged for what you're achieving, or the good feedback that you get from people about the good work that you're doing. The low is the whole, the overwhelmed feeling that you have many a times because the responsibility lies on your shoulders completely. So it's like business works as fast as I work, right?
Yeah.
So that can be very, terrifying at times.
Yeah.
Knowledge that I can only make it grow as fast as much time as I'm willing to put in, or as much resources I can invest in it, right? So that can give you some sleepless nights sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's both ends of the spectrum.
Definitely. When you're in a position with a company like yours, you're providing services to people, you really attach to those people and that emotional involvement to serve them. And when you feel that, there's just not enough time in the day to get all the things done that you want to do for them, it's difficult. Yeah. So what kinds of challenges, if any, did you experience in the beginning as you tried to, figure out how to do this, and were there times when you doubted yourself, or was it something that you really felt from the very beginning this was going to be a go?
I think the challenge has always been paucity of time, trying to manage all the roles, being the mother, being the the wife, being an entrepreneur and a businesswoman. So I think the challenge has been managing the roles, finding a work-life balance. That has been the biggest challenge, is what I would say. In terms of whether there were any doubts, I would be lying if I said there weren't any. Because, you do sometimes do when you see your things around you, people are progressing really fast and your pace might be slow because of whatever limitations you may have. It does feel disheartening and disappointing on certain days, but then I think believing in your work and following your passion, I think if you like what you're doing, then it's always easier to pick up from there and just keep running. I think so. I think that has been the biggest blessing because I really enjoy what I do, and I'm very passionate about the work that I'm doing because I see a lot of potential in it, and I see the kind of impact that it has the potential to make, touching seniors' lives. So I think just that knowledge that there is a lot to be done. It actually many a times I feel I have just started my journey. There is there is so much more to be done still. So when I see that end state, it is always motivating. I realize that there is so much more to be done. So it's really not the time for me to have any doubts or to hang up my book.
Well, that's an important thing. I think when what Simon Sinek talks about your why, what it is that motivates you. And the idea is that if you're really clear on why you're doing what you're doing and what that means to you, then it's that extra little bit of courage that you need to get through those tough parts, right? if you keep that vision in mind, like you say, that end goal of what you can help accomplish for seniors, if that's present in your mind always, then it helps lead you forward.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important piece of getting through those times when, you know, things might look a little bleak, or you're tired, or, you know, it's not coming out the way you wanted.
Right.
So how, your daughter, you mentioned before that your daughter is older now, and what was it like for her as you made that transition from full-time mom to not quite there all the time mom?
I think she was quite young when I made the transition, so I think probably she did not see that change really.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as the business has been growing bigger and my travel has increased a little, or I end up spending a little more time on work,
Mm-hmm.
yes, there are days when, you know, she has complained about me not being around enough,
Yeah.
or me on my phone all the time.
Mm.
You know, so those kind of complaints do come in.
Mm.
But then, you know, I always try to show her the brighter side, that, you know, if I were a mother who was working out of her office and I had hours that all the mothers keep, which is like, you know, doing a 9 to 5 or a 9 to 6 kind of a job, then she would have hardly seen me around. I still work out of home, and I'm usually back, as I said, by the time she comes back from school. So she still sees me a lot more than any other person. Yeah. So I think she's too young to understand that and appreciate that. But yeah, I think she is quite intelligent and smart enough to kind of come to an understanding now. Okay, this is how my mom is gonna be. So sometimes she does say, "I wish mom Silver Talkies was not around. You know, you could have spent more time with me."
Yeah.
But then she knows I am very passionate about it, so I think she's very compassionate.
How old is your daughter now?
She's 10.
Oh, she's 10. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little early yet, but you know, as she grows older and she sees how much it means to you and what you're able to do out in the world, she's going to be very proud of the work that you do.
Yeah, she was, in fact, like, for example, when I got the award at WEF,
yes,
she was so excited.
Oh, that's great.
Probably more than me, you know. The day I had to go out for receiving that award, she was like, "Oh, Mama, you're getting late. You should leave now." And you know, she was thrilled. She was thrilled. She kept saying, "Oh, Mama, you're looking good." You know, so I think, yeah. So there are moments when, you know, she kind of appreciates the work that I do and what's happening.
Yeah, that's great. I think, you know, it's another way that we can model for our girls, right? Our girls in particular, but our boys as well. That, you know, there's the whole person, right? There's not just the mom person. And you have to tend to all of those pieces of your personality and, you know, your happiness, because it's not all just in one place. As much as you love your children, there are things outside of that. Yeah. Well, tell me, what are some of the things you're looking forward to with respect to Silver Talkies?
Well, as I said, you know, possibilities right now seem endless. You know, a lot of interesting conversations lined up in terms of expansion to newer cities. I'm looking at expanding the team now so that we can reach out to more senior citizens. A lot of seniors from other cities do reach out to us. So, you know, asking if we can be there in their city as well. So I'm hoping, you know, sometime soon, if not once, you know, at least another 2-3 cities, we will be able to cover more. And then, so looking at some alliances and collaborations with other established players to see how we can work together. So there are a lot of interesting conversations which are happening. And I think there are a lot of new ideas which are still in my head, which I need to implement. So yeah, there are a lot of things happening there too.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about how you deliver services, and because as I recall, there is no charge for the service that you provide.
No, there is a charge.
Okay.
So we do. So there are 3 different, you know, service lines that we have. So one is we run a digital magazine, which is our website, silvertalkies.com, which is managed by Reshmi, where we cover content and, you know, articles, topics which would be of relevance and interest to seniors and their families. That website is free for the readers. There is no charge for anybody to access the website or to read our articles. It's completely free of cost. So that's one aspect, which is more like creating awareness, intellectual awareness around different topics. The other thing which we do primarily here in Bangalore is where I was talking about the whole active aging concept and keeping seniors happy and active. We run seniors clubs, which are exclusively for people above the age of 55. So seniors can become members by paying an annual fee. And as part of that, they get to meet each other every month and be part of different activities, socialize, and so they're having like seniors who get along. The group of seniors who meet, they are making friends with each other. They're getting to know each other. So it's very interesting. Then other than that, we do also organize lot of events and workshops which are curated specifically with seniors in mind. So because a lot of activities happen for children and for younger for the younger generation, but there is not much which happens for seniors.
Right.
So we started with that way back in 2014 when we started curating exclusive events for seniors, so which are attended by both members and non-members, and some activities are kept free with like talks and where while there are certain other sessions where they have to pay some fee too, because we have to cover our operational expenses.
Exactly.
We are a bootstrap organization.
Yeah.
So it is a combination of free and paid activities.
Okay. And so do you also do fundraising? Does the payment for the activities help cover all your costs, or do you need to do fundraising? Or
no, we haven't raised any external funds as yet. So Reshmi and I, have put in our own capital as of now. But then, we've been able to manage to pay our salaries through the money that we earn. So we do earn revenue from our website through events and workshops, commission-based models and stuff. So it has been going on well.
Oh, good. Well, that's good. So that's exciting, the idea of being able to expand your offering in Bangalore and also to move outside of the city and to other cities.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Well, I really appreciate your taking the time to talk with me about all this. It's really fascinating. And the work that you do for seniors is so very needed. It's, it's a population that, like you say, lots of things happen for kids and young people because, they're cute and they're fun. Seniors, well, sometimes they can be a little challenging and they, unfortunately society tends to kind of let them fade into the woodwork. And so the fact that, you're bringing them back out again and helping them to live a happier, fuller life is really a wonderful thing.
Yeah, in fact, wherever I go and where I'm invited for talks, I think one message that I always leave, youngsters with it, like how we as parents end up investing a lot of time and money in for our children, taking them for workshops or enrolling them for different extracurricular activities and classes. I want them to understand that, our parents too need our time and attention, and, they also need to be really active to stay fit and healthy. Yes. So in the longer run, they are the ones who are going to benefit from their parents being active. Yeah. So if they could invest some time and money for their parents, because I think the older generation, at least in India, hasn't been very open to spending on themselves. Like my mother or my parents really are not very open to investing in themselves. They like to give us all the gifts and want to save for that. So I think ultimately a big deal of responsibility lies on the shoulders of the younger generation, our generation, to really understand the whole need for keeping our seniors happy and active. Because as they grow older, this is more, I see more of it as a preventive healthcare kind of an option.
Yes.
That as long as they are active, they are not going to fall sick.
Yeah.
So it's more it's a win-win situation for both us and our parents. So that's how I would like to see it, and I would like to tell people that invest in your parents as much as you invest in your children.
Yes. Yeah, that's very true. In the happier your parents are, the more active they are, the more mentally aware they are and engaged, the more they're going to be able to live their own life, and you're not going to have to be there managing everything for them in the way that
they will be less clingy, and they would have lower expectations in terms of
Yep. Well, yeah, because they'll have other resources. It won't be just you that they come to all the time. So that's an important thing to consider, especially in today's busy world where you're trying to juggle so many different things. But well, thank you again. It's really, really fun, and I know we're going to stay in touch. So I want to, it's evening there for you, so you have a good night.
Thank you so much, Joanne. It was nice talking to you, and thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome. I enjoyed it. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed our conversation today. As a thank you for being here, I'd like to offer you my glorious second act workbook and planner. It's a great tool to help you gain clarity on what it is you want next in your life and to develop a plan to get you there. It's a totally free gift. The link is down below, so click the link, download your planner, and get started, taking action and creating a new and exciting second half to your life. I'm Joanne Kobike, your midlife coach. Stop by again for another episode of Modern Midlife. See you next time.